channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rorisang Mabogoane, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's great to have you in my little corner of YouTube where we speak all things adulting, faith, career development, personal development, lifestyle, the works. Anything and everything that is relevant for us to navigate our young adult lives. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That red button better turn gray. Give this video a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you enjoyed about today's video and what other videos you'd like to see. Share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. And last but not least, hit those notification bells so that you do not miss another video. So without wasting any more time, let us get straight into today's video. So we are back. Happy New Year. It's 2025, guys. Like, I feel like I blinked and it was 2020 a few years ago. And now we're in 2025, almost half a decade later. And I'm on a mission to be my best self. And if you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I'm always on that, tip of showing up as your best self, being your best self, bettering yourself daily. And I think I'm taking it to a completely new level this year. But that can only start with me setting the right goals and setting goals that are actually achievable. The biggest problem that I've seen with people lately is that we set these very vague goals that are hard to track and hard to actually measure the performance of, because you just say lose weight, be more productive. And the problem with these is that, okay, how are you measuring that kind of, goal? And today I want to help you guys set goals that you can actually achieve, that you can actually measure, that you can actually make sense of, so that you can achieve them. Because the biggest problem with setting vague goals is that at the end of the year, you're going to look back and say, I lost 2 kgs, I guess, and that might just be water weight. So I'm just using weight as an example because it's the first thing that comes up in my head. But in all seriousness, I think it's time for us to shift the gears from setting goals that just are goals for the sake of setting goals, and actually gearing into setting goals that are attainable, measurable, achievable, and so forth. So I want to speak today about just that. I want to speak about the power of SMART goals that are not vague and that are attainable and achievable. So if this is something that you find interesting or that you are passionate about as you enter into 2025, do stay tuned. Sit back, relax, get your notebooks. We're gonna learn, we're gonna delve into the nitty-gritties of setting proper goals that you can achieve within the next 12 months. Don't sleep on yourselves, guys. Please do not sleep on yourselves. If you have the opportunity to set goals and actually put measures in place to achieve them, actually do that. Actually do that. You don't want to find yourself at the end of the year saying, yeah, guys, it was just another year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had many of those years, and I am making it a point to be very intentional about what this year is going to look like. And of course, at the end of the day, only God can, define how our year is going to look and how it's going to turn out. But we have some sort of control to say, listen, in order for me to get to this level of whatever I'm praying for, these certain things need to be put into place. And that only works if you set SMART goals. Now, I want to introduce you, or rather reintroduce you, to the framework that I'll be using to set goals this year, which is the SMART framework. This means that your goals need to be specific, they need to be measurable, they need to be actionable or attainable, they need to be relevant, and they need to have a time bound to it. These are the 5 things or the 5 elements that you need to think of when setting SMART goals. Now, that's why I said reintroduce. This isn't the first time I've mentioned SMART goals on this channel before, but I do think that every single year we need to continuously be reminded of how to set those goals and set them a bit better than last year. For example, the SMART goals that I set last year, I didn't necessarily attain. One that I can be vulnerable with right now is my YouTube channel. I wanted to end the year with 5,000 subscribers, and I didn't. Unfortunately, I just missed the mark by 80 something subscribers. And yes, I was almost there, but it wasn't attained. And this year, I need to set that goal and beyond, but be smarter about it because of the actions that I need to back in order for me to achieve that goal. So, for example, I was speaking about losing weight at the beginning of the year, right? So instead of just saying lose weight, a SMART goal that you can set would be to lose 10 kgs by the 30th of June 2025 by working out 3 times a week, for example, and eating clean for 6 out of the 7 days of the week, or controlling your calorie intake for 6 out of the 7 days of the week. I'm saying 6 out of 7 days of the week because I know I'm also on a weight loss journey, or rather a cutting journey, and I know there are those days, e.g. my Sundays. My Sundays are for indulging, and those are my cheat days. So setting a goal like that, instead of just saying lose weight, has more weight to it. Excuse the pun, but saying I'm going to lose 10 kgs. So the action, or it's specific to say I'm losing weight. That's the specific part of it. Measurable is the 10 kgs. The time bound is by the 30th of June 2025, and the actions and the relevance is by controlling my calorie intake and by working out 3 times a week. That is how a SMART goal is set. Another example that I can share with you is the Be More Productive one. For example, you can complete 2 writing projects. Should you be in school or should you be at work? 2 writing projects by the end of Q1 2025 by dedicating at least 2 hours each morning or each evening to your writing projects. That is something that is specific, it is measurable, it is attainable / achievable, it is relevant, and it is time bound. By Q1, you need to have completed the 2 writing projects by doing the action, the achievable part. The action behind it is by dedicating 2 hours in the morning or in the evening to achieving that specific goal. When you set goals like this, you're able to keep yourself accountable, but not just keep yourself accountable, but share it with the people that you'll be held accountable by when it comes to the goals that you set. A few years back, my girls and I used to do this thing where we would set our own individual goals and we would actually share them with each other. And at the mid-year mark, we'd be like, girls, how are we doing? And at the end year mark, we'd be like, girls, how did we do? And you can do that with friends, you can do that with partners, you can do that with your siblings, whatever the case might be. Keep someone accountable, or have someone to keep you accountable rather. And also it would be beneficial to do it with someone who is also having that same drive and has goals as well for this year, so that it is a mutual relationship. Because if you are just going to be held accountable, but you can't pour into that other person as well by holding them accountable, that also gets a bit tricky. So that's basically the framework that I want us to base our goals on this year. Another thing that I want us to touch on is the magnitude of our goals, right? So for the longest time for me, for example, we'll go back to the getting 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. The biggest thing that I did was set this massive goal. The magnitude was great, but I didn't have the small actions that helped me, or that would have helped me take that step or climb that staircase to get to the top, right? I think I only tapped into those smaller actions later on in the year, and it was too late for me to gain that traction, right? So by being able to break down your big goals into smaller ones, it makes it a bit more realistic. By saying you're going to save 10,000 rand by the end of the year is a lot. It's a lot. Instead of saying I'm going to save 500 rand every single month, or 1,000 rand, or 800 rand rather, if we're trying to get to the 10,000 mark, roughly 800 rand a month, in order for me to get to that 10,000 rand goal at the end of the year. And 800 rand doesn't seem like that much money compared to 10,000 rand, where it's like, whoa, you know? So being able to break down those big goals into smaller ones makes it more bearable. Being able to say, in order for me to get 5,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers, I know I need to maybe put out shorter form content that would lead the audience to my longer form content. I need to be better at posting on my Instagram and my TikTok and my whatever the case is, in order for me to channel my audience to my YouTube channel and thus then subscribing. That is me breaking down a massive goal into a small goal. The goal for this month might be to only get 50 subscribers. Next year and next month another 50, and the next month another 50, and I need to have actions to back those numbers in order for me to properly track the progress. Am I tracking towards that 5,000? And if I am, that means I'm doing good. Maybe I should do more of it. If I'm not, what am I doing wrong? How am I going to fix this and turn it around? And that's why you also need to regularly check in with yourself. But let me not get ahead of myself. That is another point that I've written down. So I will get to it at some point. Right? The other thing that I want us to touch on when it comes to setting these smart goals and these achievable goals is actually building. The world calls it a vision board. I don't like that term, and that is because I put God at the center of all my goals. So I call it a faith board or a prayer board, right? Where I know that I am going to have this poster. I'll try and insert some examples, but I'm going to have this poster either printed out on my wall or on my wallpaper, as a daily reminder of everything that I am working towards. If I am saving towards a camera, I'm going to put a picture of a camera there. If I'm saving towards an emergency fund, I'm going to put money there. If I'm saving towards living a regular and healthy lifestyle, I'm going to put a healthy meal there. I'm going to put exercising there. If I want to read more, I'm going to put a book there. If I want to journal more, I'm going to put a book there. If I'm going to want to go back to school this year, I'm going to put a degree there. Maybe a picture of a previous, time where I achieved a degree. And now this is a reminder that this is what I'm believing God for. And that's why I call it a faith board. The world calls it vision boards or planning boards or whatever you want to call them. I call it a faith board because that is what I'm believing God for. But faith without works is dead, right? So these faith items that I'm believing God for need to then be backed by action. You cannot say you want to save that 10,000 rand, but you are not regularly putting money into your savings account every single month. You can't say you want to lose 10 kgs by the end of June 2025 if you aren't making those steps towards losing that weight. So by being able to see that vision board, faith board, by putting it in your face where you're going to see it every day, it's a constant reminder that the decisions you make today will affect whatever is on that board right now. That cupcake that you're eating today that is not on your cheat day will affect the dream body that you have for yourself. That day that you're spending not studying or not dedicating 2 hours to going over what you learned in class will affect whatever you're believing God for on that faith board. Not drinking 2 liters of water will affect you not losing belly fat. That it's the constant reminders, and that's why I'm saying putting it where you see it every single day. Some people like putting it on their walls and stuff. Personally, I'm not a fan because I think it does hinder the aesthetics of my house. But if you know how to make it aesthetic and aesthetically pleasing and all of that stuff, then listen, go for it. Personally though, I don't know how to do that, not yet anyway. I'm really just a practical person. Put these things on a collage that I can see and keep it moving. So I use Canva, and I create a wallpaper that I then put and set as my wallpaper. And I see that every time I pick up my phone, every time I unlock my phone, every time I answer my phone, whatever the case might be, I always have that constant reminder that these are the things I'm believing God for, and I need to have certain actions in place in order for me to achieve these goals. Now, earlier on in the video, I spoke about a step ladder, right? That in order for us to get to this massive goal, we need to set smaller goals that will get us there. So in order for us to implement on those smaller goals, there needs to be habits behind them. For example, we'll use the losing weight part one. Again, you need to consistently work out 3 times a week at least, and consistently eat well and consistently track your calories in order for you to achieve that goal, in order for you to take one step and another step and another step to reach that 10 kg point. In order for you to climb that step ladder, consistent action needs to back whatever you are doing, right? Consistently so. For example, 10,000 Rand. 10,000 Rand is a lot of money. And to say, yeah, I'm going to do a lump sum at this month and a lump sum at that month, best believe you're going to dig into that money again, because genuinely, it's not consistent. It's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable way to climb the step ladder. Whereas you can say 1,000 Rand or 800 Rand every single month, that is you taking one step consistently every single month to get to your end goal. That is the only way you will reach that goal. And make it a habit. Make it a habit that you're gonna wake up at 4:30 every single morning so that you can get to gym at 5 o'clock every single day, so that you can consistently work out. If you're just gonna wing it and not add routines and habits to your lifestyle, best believe when we do our 6-month check-in, you're going to be like, yeah, I fell off of that. Yeah, I fell off of that. If you're going to say, I'm going to do full body workouts every single day, your body is going to get tired. That is not a sustainable plan. You need certain habits. You need certain routines. You need a workout routine that on Mondays you're doing legs, Tuesdays you're doing cardio, Wednesdays you're doing this, Thursdays you're doing this, Fridays you're doing this, Saturdays you're doing this, Sunday is a rest day. That's okay. For me, I work out 6 days a week. So that's why I was able to say that. But if we're doing 3 days a week, then we know we are doing upper body one day, lower body the other day, cardio the other day. That's how it's going to work. You need to consistently set habits that are sustainable, because you can't flip overnight, right? These habits are the ones that are consistently going to help you change day by day and help you climb that step ladder each and every single day in order for you to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. You cannot just do one, bam, I'm going ham, once off and we're done. That's not how life works, unfortunately. I wish it was, but that is not how life works. You need to do it consistently each and every single day in order for it to become a habit, in order for it to become part of your lifestyle, and thus it being that small step that you take for you to get to the goal that you've set for yourself. The one thing that I want to add to this habits point before I move on to the next one is the 2-minute rule. I am a massive fan of the 2-minute rule. If it is a habit that I can do in 2 minutes every single day, I'm going to stand up and do it now. If I can quickly go do the dishes, there's only 2 plates in the sink, I'm going to do it now if my goal is to always keep my house neat. If I can consistently read 1 page a day, and that will take me 2 minutes, right? Then I can do that. Make the phone call. Maybe your goal is to keep in touch with your family members more. Make that phone call. It can be done in 2 minutes and you can do it. Do those 10 squats. You can do 10 squats in 2 minutes. It's a workout. Send that quick email. If you want to always be on the game or on the ball with your emails, send that email. It will only take 2 minutes. The 2-minute rule will help you build the momentum that you need for those habits that you're trying to put into your life, as well as help you beat procrastination. I think for all of us, we struggle with procrastination, and I'll do a completely different video on how to overcome procrastination and so forth. But the 2-minute rule for me is a gem that I fell upon or stumbled upon very recently, and I've never looked back. If I can quickly send that email, if I can quickly make that phone call, if I can quickly send that text message to my grandmother, to my mom, to whoever it is, I'm gonna do that, rather than saying, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. It's not that big of a task. If it can be done now, stand up and do it now, so that you can make it. And your brain, it's a rewiring of your brain, where it's like, if I can quickly get it done and tick it off my checklist, I'm going to quickly get it done and check it off my checklist. And that then has a ripple effect. It helps you feel like you've achieved something, and it helps you feel like, I cannot stress how achieving small things tricks your brain into doing more. Somebody asked me the other day, Rori, how do you stay consistent with working out even through the seasons of fatigue? And my answer was, you just do 10 squats, and best believe by the end of those 10 squats, you're going to want to do another 10 squats. You're going to want to do another 10 squats on top of that, another 10 squats on top of that. For example, like, that is a simple example of how your brain works. When you back it up with very small, that might seem minute actions, your brain then wants to do more than just that. You're gonna quickly send that one email, and then it's like, hey, okay, let me send the other one. Okay, let me send the other one. Let me action this query. Let me do that. Let me take 1 extra kilometer of walking. Let me pack away these plates. I've washed them, so maybe let me just pack them away. They're just sitting there, And that 2-minute rule helps you do so much more than you realize. It's not just 2 minutes, but it starts with 2 minutes. And then your brain wants to do more, because your brain loves achieving things. And if it can achieve more, it will do whatever it needs to do to achieve that more. Last point that I want to touch on before I close out this video is reviewing and actioning your goals. I look at my goals on a quarterly basis. If I can, I try to do it at least monthly. I do set monthly goals that will help me reach the bigger goals, going back to the point about the small goals that will help you reach the big one. And on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, I review those goals. Am I still on the right track? If I'm not, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What can I fix? What can I not? Has this goal been achieved? Can I scratch it off my list for the year? Whatever that is, you won't be able to see the progress that you're making if you're not reviewing your goals regularly. So regularly review your goals and set actions behind them. Like I said, if you're not on the right track to get to that 10,000 Rand, what do I need to sacrifice next month in order for me to be able to put extra money into my savings account that will help me reach the goal that I want to reach at the end of the year? Is maybe 10,000 Rand a bit too big for me to chew? Then maybe let's take it down to 8,000 Rand. Then that means 650 a month, roughly, for the rest of the year in order for me to get to that goal. That is the only way you will be able to achieve your goals. By setting these goals at the beginning of the year and forgetting about them, and then in December it's like, oops. Guys, who are you fooling? Were you setting these goals just to say, yeah, guys, I've got this life thing under control? Let's not fool each other. Let's not fool each other. let's be realistic. So continuously and regularly review your goals and set certain actions. Adjust your actions if you need to. Adjust those SMART goals if you need to. Adjust the timelines if you need to. Adjust the actions behind those goals if you need to, in order for you to get to where you want to get by the end of the year. You can't just set goals and forget about them, and at the end of the year it's like, yo, 2025, I didn't achieve anything. It was such a hard year. Did you wake up and go to gym every day like you said you were going to, or did you hit the snooze button every single day? You understand what I'm saying? I'm just, I'm just saying. So in closing, I just want to highlight that the decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis will help you reach the goals that you want to reach. You cannot get to the big goals that you want to reach if you are not taking one step at a time and climbing that staircase one step at a time to reach the finish line. And the finish line isn't technically the finish line, because once you reach a certain goal, there's another goal that is, it's always a ripple effect. But I digress. Every single day, you need to wake up with the determination that you are going to put actions in place and keep the promises that you make to yourself in order for you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve at the end of the year. You can't just wake up at the end of the year and say, oops, I did it again. You can't just wake up at the end of the year and say, so every single day is a decision and a chance and a clean slate for you to take those actions to get to the life that you want to live, to get to the goals that you've set for yourself, to get to those small and big actions that you want to achieve, to set those new habits. Every single week is a new slate or a new opportunity to say, I'm restructuring my routine so that I can get studying in, I can get reading in, I can get Bible study in, I can get working out in, so that I can reach the goals that I want to reach. Each and every single day is an opportunity for you to take one step forward to the goals that you have set for yourself. Lazing around will not get you anywhere. Setting smart, attainable, achievable, measurable, relevant, realistic, time-bound goals are the only way you will get to the life that you want to live. So with that, I really do encourage you to sit down and hone into the goals that you want to achieve this year. It is January, it's a clean slate. And if you happen to be watching this in June or whenever you stumble upon this video, it is also still a good opportunity to sit down and set the goals that you want to achieve for yourself in your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be just for this year. It can go beyond this year. Whatever the case is, you have the opportunity now to sit down and hone in on the goals that you want to achieve this year, this specific period that you've set for yourself, whatever the case is. And do not sleep on yourself. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you have so much potential. You can do so much more. You just need to get up and do the work. You just need to get up with the determination to say, I am going to put in the work, get my hands dirty so I can achieve the goals that I want to achieve. So with that, we've reached the end of today's video. I hope it was helpful. Do comment down below what topic or what aspect of the video you enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share this with everybody in your circle. With so much love and so much light from me to you. Have an incredible rest of the day. Stay safe and God bless. Bye guys.